Hi, I'm Gill Moakes. I'm a business coach and mentor and the host of the Heads Together podcast. I help ambitious, freedom-seeking entrepreneurs step into who they really are and create wildly profitable businesses doing what they love. Rewild Your Business on the Stone Fruit Roll-Up is a 6-part documentary. It's a reality TV series for business, if you like, where I'll be taking my business bestie, Rebecca Gunter, the founder of Stone Fruit, on a journey to define success on her terms.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Gunter, Peach-in-Chief at Stone Fruit. I'm a brand strategist, developer, and copywriter.
I want her to start regenerating time and energy for herself. And we're going to do that by rewilding her business, by cutting away what doesn't belong to allow what does to thrive.
The biggest challenge in my business right now is how freaking overcomplicated it is. No one knows what to buy from me, and I need someone to help me clear the forest and help me replant the seeds that actually have a functionality and a purpose.
So over the next 6 weeks, we'll be deconstructing the idea that there's only one right way to do business. And my goal is that by the end of the series, Rebecca will be crystal clear and completely confident, owning her own unique ecosystem. Welcome to Rewilding Stone Fruit, Part 6. 6 episodes of this. So good. I'm loving it. So this week, where we're going to pick up this week is you, in the intro you just heard, I mentioned about Rebecca creating her own ecosystem of offers. And this week we're going to pick up on that. So a couple of episodes ago, we started with her really getting some clarity around what she actually sells. This has always been a difficult thing for Rebecca to really put into words and to really kind of package up, if you like, to make it so that people understand, what they can buy from her. And her homework last week was to go away and kind of look at everything that she does, look at her existing offers, look at the things she wants to be able to package up and sell, and just start playing around with what that could look like in an ecosystem of offers. So there will be a varying entry level points. So some higher ticket offers, some mid-tier offers. There's going to be some that are big projects, some that are small projects. And that is the secret to a really thriving ecosystem for your business, is making sure that you are serving your people and meeting them where they're at with the offers that they want and need. So in this episode, that's where we're picking up. We're then going to pick up again from where we left off last week on marketing. Once we know what Rebecca has to sell, then we can figure out what the right marketing strategy is for that. And this, we don't have to overthink this. It isn't overcomplicated. Okay. We are going to really think about who she's serving. What's their preference in terms of how they consume content, for example? What's her preference? What's Rebecca's preference when it comes to actually doing marketing activity? What does she want to do? What are her non-negotiables? What are her hard no's? We don't want to be forcing anyone into doing any kind of marketing activity that they don't feel comfortable with, because it won't be sustainable. And finally, we're looking at systems and operations. And really, when it comes to our systems, marketing is the main thing that drives this. Marketing and client service delivery. So we're probably going to start touching on that in the episode today, and start figuring out exactly what that will look like behind the scenes to provide a really solid framework for her marketing strategy. Okay, so that's what's coming up ahead. So let me invite my co-conspirator, Rebecca Gunter, to the stage. Come on up. Here she is.
I want that.
Your own show.
I want that confetti cannon in real life.
Oh my God. God.
Pew, pew,
That was
pew,
the best
pew.
See, I never think of a good Christmas present for you. That would have been a really good Christmas present. A huge confetti fan. Confetti fannon?
That sounds naughty when you say it.
How naughty. A confetti cannon.
You are appealing to me. By God, the agenda at the top of this show is like, whoa.
We're not going to overthink it. We're not going to overthink it. We're going all in. We're getting it done.
You might need 6 or 7 more episodes of this series.
I'm available.
I love it. I love it. Part 6, I'm almost brokenhearted over it.
I know, right?
Oh my God. Yes. No.
But here's the thing. Maybe we didn't stick exactly to our buckets, our topic buckets in each episode. But I tell you what, I love the flow that this series has followed. I love the way that we've kind of started doing something, and then on the next episode, we pick back up on that thing, see that through to fruition, and then move on to the next thing. And so each one kind of like blurs nicely into the next episode.
Remind the folks at home, Julie, that this is work. Let's pull back the camera a little bit to a 30,000 foot perspective and talk about this kind of journey as a personal retreat and why people would, other than for darn good television, why would someone go through the process of rewilding their business? And maybe if folks are tuning in for the first time, what does rewilding mean to you?
Great question. So rewilding to me is the number one thing is it's about simplifying things. So many people, when they come to me, are either completely overwhelmed because the business model that they've created is incredibly complicated. They've got too many offers. They're serving too many audiences. They have too many different strategies on the go. And they're really struggling to pull it all together into a cohesive business that they can stay on top of and feel in control of. And rewilding your business is really about cutting away what doesn't belong there to allow what does to thrive. So if you think about rewilding in nature, it's all about planting kind of indigenous plants back where they should be. It's about allowing certain areas to really go back to their natural habitat environment. So I love this analogy really between that natural state and rewilding of business, because there's something very organic about the way you can grow a business if you do it this way. If you go right back to the basics, the foundations of your brand, going back to thinking about your values and the things that matter to you. Because when a business gets overcomplicated, some of those things fall by the wayside. We're so busy in the doing that we actually lose sight of what we started off trying to achieve. And that's why this kind of guided journey from vision through to goal setting, through to positioning, through to being clear on who you serve, to be clear on how you serve them, what your offers are, how much you charge, then through to how you're going to get those in front of the people that you want to buy them, so your marketing. And then, and only then, okay, so what do I need in the back end of my business to make all of that happen? So it is a beautiful flow. And the reason that I really would love people watching to consider doing this process themselves as a virtual retreat, solo virtual retreat, is that when we are busy and in the weeds of our business and we're overwhelmed with all the things and all the doing, we don't have the space we never have the space to actually sit back and think, is this even aligned with what I want? Is this even in any way connected to the vision I have for my business? Or have I just done this because I read something that it was the new hot thing and therefore I have to do it too? So
and I created a job for myself.
I created a job for myself. I mean, you've said that to me before. You said, this business was supposed to be the pleasure and the bits of it that you love, which I know you love, the client delivery, the work you do with your clients, but the business side, the back end, the overwhelm with the marketing, that turned into like a job, and it wasn't even a job you applied for.
Or want to do it all, kicks the can across the road.
To the curb. Oh, my American came out.
Oh my God. Where'd that come from? Kathleen wants to know if this is a process of rewilding works with product-based businesses as well, or just service-based businesses. Thank you, Kathleen.
It's a great question. I think I can honestly say this works with any kind of business. If you are in a business, you need a clear vision. If you're in any kind of business, you need to have goals so that you know what aligned action looks like. If you are in any kind of business, you have to have customers or clients or members or, whatever, however you class the people you serve. You have to have those people. You have to have something they want to buy. That's what being in business is. It's people paying for something, whether it's a product, a service, a membership, a done for you, whatever it is, you have to have something that those people, your people, want and need. And I don't care what business you're in. If you're not marketing, you're not getting new eyes on what you're doing. You don't have a sustainable business.
Why did the camera pan to me just now?
Ba, 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 ba.
I would like to report in that this process has influenced me tremendously.
Oh, and I'm so pleased.
Well, here we are on this podcast platform, and you didn't expect me to blow smoke up your skirt, and I truly intend to, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
and it's absolutely true. I put forth a proposal this week, and the language I used, I don't want to say it was totally, I generally have this kind of template that I use for all the evergreen pieces of my proposal. And I just saw so much of the work we've been doing come out and shift the way I was talking about what the work that I was proposing to do and why it mattered. And just has made such a difference already, kind of having this stuff in alignment. And I know we did this as a exercise because why not? Let's use this channel. We can get so much out of it. You can showcase your retreat, and I can go through it, and we can share with our YouTube audience at home how the sausage gets made, and hopefully we'll influence them as well. All of that is well and good, but damn, this is money well spent, Miss Jilly, because it's really making a difference already.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Tell me specific. I'm really intrigued. Tell me specifically. So when you were putting that proposal together, because we've had some really good ahas through this. I think, back when we were doing like the visionary stuff and the goal setting and the positioning. So what specifically came up when you were doing that?
Mostly shifting the focus away from selling the idea of why one would do positioning or get a positioning statement, and to start instead talking about words that sell, content that connects, articulating a brand voice, all of these things that came up around positioning, and then understanding how the offer really needed to meet the client where she was already, and future cast a little bit, but also be really grounded in who she was. And I think I'd been beating the positioning drum for so long that it was kind of shocking to see how much of that was baked in kind of an antiseptic way of like, it's the positioning statement. Get a positioning statement. Get a positioning statement.
Yeah.
Instead of, words that work.
Instead of realizing that no one cares about your tools.
No one gives a shit. Rebecca.
No one gives a shit about the tool you use to do the work you do. And I feel like the positioning is really one of the tools you use to get people the result they want. And what they want to hear about is the result.
Yeah, that was a real aha moment. That was a real
Mm.
record scratch for me. It's just really, I've been obsessed with positioning statements for so long that I just keep putting those forth, like shoving that hamburger down your throat when really people are just hungry. Thank you.
And the thing is, I think you still should be obsessed with positioning because it's so bloody important. And it's such an important tool and it's such a pivotal part of your process. It's just that that's not the selling point of what you do.
What you said was that's your process, not your product. And I was like, rip,
yes.
Rip.
Oh.
So all of that has really helped me a lot.
Good.
This homework, which I'm always like, homework, has really been some powerful exercises, hopefully, in rewilding this dang brand.
Fantastic. So last week, business ecosystem offers.
Yes.
How did you get on? Because it was a big ask. I get it. It was a big ask.
Well, if you were here last week, folks, you might remember that I had a bunch of stuff sketched out in purple Sharpie across pieces of paper. I had sketched out the customer journey. I had sketched out all the different ways in which we could plot products across that journey. I had done kind of an upside down pyramid as the Moakes method of, kind of sketching low, freemium stuff, low priced offers, mid-grade, high end. So my assignment was to go back to the drawing board and really now start to really put some development brain cells behind what are the offers in this ecosystem. Now, what I haven't done that really needs to be part of this work, and I make a absolute promise to go back and fill that part in, is the freemium stuff, like a newsletter or free coaching or, this mailing list or that mailing list. I haven't done that.
Okay.
That should be actually easy. That should be the easy part because doing the free stuff.
And also, to be honest with you, we're going to spend the second half of this show anyway talking about marketing. So I think that will probably reveal itself a bit then anyway.
Okay, good. And then I sketched out and really tried to flesh out offers. I am afraid it's still a little overcomplicated. I'm afraid when you said earlier people have way too many offers. Now I'm chewing my nails. Do I have too many offers? I'm not sure, but you can tell me where to strike, what I need to strike. And there are some things where I've just got the idea started, particularly around bundles. Okay, what would be in this bundle? Maybe I haven't fully positioned it yet or kind of priced it or figured that piece out, but I've got a lot to work with whenever you want to see my homework so I can get my gold star.
So before you share it with me, because I know you want that gold star, I know how badly you love that gold star. One thing I would say is that it's only too many offers if it feels like too many offers for you or if it confuses your people, your potential clients. If you've got 50 offers for every single one of them, so if you take, for example, a product business, no one's going to tell someone with a product business that they've got too many products necessarily, unless lots of them are duplicated or unless it means that a client can't very obviously see which is the right choice for them. So I think that's the key thing about your offers is that as long as it's not making you feel overwhelmed, and as long as a client can navigate their way around what you offer and very easily see what's right for them. That's the key thing. It's not the number. Marketing, your nemesis. Although it used to be, and I shouldn't keep saying that because that's an old story. And I think we do this sometimes. We always make this joke that, oh, you hate marketing. And I don't think it's true at all. For example, you love it when it comes to the stuff you do for your clients. You love their marketing.
Fuck yeah.
But you just don't love your own.
Well, I guess if I loved it, I would make time for it. And that's what I don't love is the pressure to constantly feed the marketing mix. And I know this is a very common sentiment. Look, the cobbler's children have no shoes.
I had a really similar conversation with a client today.
You did?
I didn't start this to be a marketer.
Yeah. And it feels like it's the only way. And I also feel like social media platforms are just really kind of distracting us all from getting, I don't know what the alternative is. I don't know what the alternative is. I was scrolling LinkedIn last night and I was looking for a news story. LinkedIn has just turned into Facebook. Like I couldn't find any articles. Because the algorithm has changed so much that, reposting an article has no priority and only like personal stuff where you have your own commentary is making the feed, which is making it feel and read so much like Facebook. And I'm like, my God, when is this now? Is LinkedIn now finally irrelevant? So all of that stuff feels like just spitting in the wind. And
mainly because it kind of is.
Yeah.
I've said this to you a lot lately. I've really changed the way I feel about social media, and it now for me falls completely into the searchlight marketing bucket rather than the lighthouse marketing. So there was a time when social media could be used like we would use our podcast, our blog, our YouTube channel, which I consider to be lighthouse marketing. We are broadcasting and hoping to attract our people to us. And there was a time when you could post really thoughtfully, in-depth posts, pictures, images, videos, really interesting stuff onto social media and attract people to you. I think that a combination of things have happened that means that that's just not the way it goes anymore. And I think one of the things is the saturation of people using social media, because don't forget, it's free. It's a free marketing, but they're using it with an expectation that it should be serving them. I was talking about this on the Heads Together podcast, on my podcast, about how we have to really ditch this entitlement mindset when it comes to social media, because the owners of Mark Zuckerberg's goal for Facebook is not to make us rich. It's
Excellent reminder.
It's to make him and his shareholders rich. That is his prerogative, right? We get to use it as free advertising if we choose to do so, but we've got to adjust our expectations of how it's going to work. The algorithm doesn't exist for our benefit. It exists for the benefit of consumers, not advertisers, which is how we want to use it, right? So for business owners, if you decide you're going to use social media, you need to focus in on using it for a relationship building tool rather than a broadcasting advertising tool. And that could mean really rethinking how you use social media. It could mean really going back to the drawing board and completely pulling apart your social media strategy and completely changing the way you spend your time, because the algorithm is never going to serve us unless you are someone who is investing a ton of money into using it as a paid advertising platform, and it is a great paid advertising platform. Not as great as it used to be, but it's still a great paid advertising platform. Whether that's, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Ads, whatever paid route you wanted to go down. But if you're using it as a free tool, then you're going to have to just accept that it's never going to work the way it used to work. It's oversaturated with people who all have the same goal. Everyone who's in business who posts on social media is trying to sell their thing, not buy your thing. So if you think about LinkedIn, that's so true on LinkedIn. Everyone is learning how to, put out these really incredible long form posts, but everyone's doing that with a view to selling their thing.
And
who's on there looking
legitimately, who has time to read a long form post?
Who has time, right?
And then respond to it fully. It just feels like a full-time job. And to your point of like, they're making monies for their shareholders. All it does is it feels like it just distracts me from what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, I do think it still works. For some people,
it still works. And for some people, and also don't forget, particularly if you have a higher ticket offer, you don't have to attract that many people. I think you've got to keep this in perspective. For some people, it will still work. And that's great. For those people, absolutely use it. But I will bet you that the people that it works for don't just fire hose content out onto LinkedIn. I will bet that they have a great LinkedIn profile, for example. If they work with you, I know they have. But that's a massive thing. Don't just use LinkedIn to shove all your content out there and then be surprised if no one bites when you have a profile that reads like a 1980s CV. That's not going to work. Right?
God, I love it.
But imagine if you did read an interesting article on Substack or on Medium or on a Forbes interview or something like that. Imagine if you read something that really resonated and you had something actually interesting that you wanted to say about that. Then imagine seeing if you can connect with that person on LinkedIn and actually having something to say to them that's of interest. Also, being strategic about who you're connecting with on these platforms. Are you filling your feed with content being put out there by your peers? This is something I see all the time. Coaches' feeds full of content from other coaches, and which is great if other coaches are your ideal clients. But if not, where are you supporting the content of your ideal clients? Where are you supporting the content of ideal collaborators? Where are you supporting the content of your ideal referral partners? That's what you need to be thinking about, not fire hosing your own content out there. Oh, that was a rantathon.
That's why I love when you go on a rantathon.
Oh my gosh. Need a rest after that.
I know.
And then take everything I just said and ditto it for every other platform.
Exactly. I feel like, I know I'm kind of ranting about things that I'm actually producing. Like, why do we have to have content? Even though I'm content production house, essentially. Why do we have to have email?
Authority.
Why do we have to have email when no one is reading it and it's all the same? Like, I was walking down the street and saw a candy bar wrapper, and that reminded me of this lesson in business. They're all the same. LinkedIn, do I have a great track record of being there and participating meaningfully in conversations? No, but I am making an effort, and I'm representing a couple of my clients on there. So I'm there more often. And I don't have a single DM for the last year that isn't someone trying to sell me lead generation or software. Not a single one. So like the time you spend just kind of like paying attention to that stuff and what's a lead and what's not a lead and who's actually reading these emails and who's actually watching this show, to be honest with you. Like, what difference is it making at all? I don't know the answer. Question mark.
So, first of all, I think that you are sharing with us some of your experiences and you're extrapolating them as if they are everyone's experience.
Fair. Okay. Well, so, I guess everyone else in the world is getting productive DMs, but I am not.
No,
they are 100%. Thanks for clarity, Rebecca. Have you thought about what your life could be like if you could generate 5,000 leads without doing any marketing in a single day? Wow. I have good news for you. Our new program.
I want to just push back on a couple of things, though. Emails. I send one email at least to my email list every week on a Monday when my episode of my podcast comes out. And I have my average open rate is 55 to 60%. I am ruthless with my email list in terms of culling anyone who kind of unsubscribes or hasn't opened an email for 3 months. I cull it. because I want it to be a fair reflection of an engaged audience of people who are actually opening them, right? So that was a massive turning point for me when I stopped worrying about the number of people on my email list and actually looked at how engaged they were. So that's one thing I would say, is that I want you to start building an engaged email list. Your emails are so readable, but start being really, really personal, more personal in them. I think people
Oh my
want to read.
God,
That's what I like reading.
More personal. I literally reveal everything. I don't trauma dump on people, but I am extremely transparent.
No, you are. I mean, to be fair, this is why I get sad when I don't see emails coming from you enough, because your emails are the emails people read. They are emails people open.
Okay, that's yet to be proven. But I will back burner my own email until the end of time in lieu of client work.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time just scheduling and, writing the thing and putting it all together and just being a one-woman brand when it comes to these shows alone. So, I hope that will open me up to have more spoons available to do writing to my audience, which I really am struggling with. But I do try and write these show descriptions. It's very personal. They're not just
you really do. And I think you do such a great job of that. Also, you're so consistent with putting out the shows, not just one, but 2 shows. And remember how I said to you about the podcast? I was like, oh my God, this is a lot. Putting out this podcast every week is a lot. And I don't know, I'm not seeing that many downloads, and it feels like a lot. I feel like I'm talking to the wind. And I remember you saying to me, you'd spoken to Tony and our wonderful friend of the show, who had said, it's a good year before you're going to see any traction. And you've only just celebrated your year birthday on here.
That wasn't even our year birthday on here, by the way.
No, it wasn't actually.
Everybody got confused the whole show. Like,
of course,
it was really Stoned Fruit, the company's birthday.
The company's birthday.
Because we didn't start this until.
So remind me, when did we start this?
March? Maybe February, March?
So only March.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. But this is, I always talk about those 3 phases, don't I, of marketing? So visibility, lead generation, sales. This is your visibility platform. And the piece that we need to work on, this doesn't need work. This is great. This is really good. This will get traction. The more consistent you are, and you're so consistent, you're doing optimized show notes, couldn't ask you to do any more on that. The next part is the lead generation. It's, we've got to be getting people to opt in. We want their email addresses. So how are we turning people into leads who are seeing this content? That's the question I would put to you.
And even if they do see this content, let's just say, we have more than 3 eyeballs one day and people do see it. Right now, if they went to stonefruit.com, it's complete. You have no idea what to buy or what we even do. Like, all of this work that we've done in the last 6 weeks will then lead to revamping the welcome sequence, revamping the offer page. All of that is going to have to get burned down and start again, because let's just say that, we've got the visibility pieces working and we've got eyeballs, but then where they go next is a dead stop, because there's just nothing but,
exactly. Yeah.
Octophilia and huge pictures and no form.
Remember the quiz?
Yeah, the quiz estimate, still have it. Remember Branthropology 101?
I really want the quiz to be your lead magnet. This is where I'm talking about services and systems, or ops and systems. But I mean, just seriously on. I know that we need to wrap up shortly, but thinking about marketing, anyone listening, if you can just get very clear in your minds, and this process of rewilding, again, email me so that you can get on my list if you want me to let you know when the virtual retreat is going to be available to sign up for. But when it gets to the marketing part, we need to stop overthinking marketing. We need 3 very clear ways of doing things. One is a way of being visible. One is a way of getting leads, and one is a way of turning leads into sales. And, just we have to start thinking clearly about those three phases and making decisions about how those are working. Because generally speaking, so if you look on, so Rebecca's sharing that's my homepage, and you can see top right, very clear, free vision and goal setting workbook bundle. Okay, that's really, really clear where you can get that. You click on that button, it's yours. If you scroll down the page, I think there's other ways people can get on. Oh, there we go. You've tried to come off, so then a pop-up has come up. Just reminding you, grab this damn bundle. Do it already. Let's not make it hard for people. No one wants to fight to work out how to work with you. It needs to be clear. And quite often the starting point is getting on your email list so that you can then tell them. There's another freebie there. Then I'm telling them about my podcast. Oh, subscribe to it. That will have another opt-in under it. Now I'm going to be talking about, hey, what about private coaching? That's what I do. Click on there, find out more about that. Making it clear to people how they can work with you. You'll see there's a top of in the menu bar, work with me. Those are the ways you can work with me. So, again, it's really important to not make people work for it. Make it obvious.
I hope people contact you there, Jilly.
Oh, thank you. Please do. Yeah.
Indeed.
Please do, but only after you've worked with Rebecca on your messaging, because until then, your marketing will not come together beautifully like it will if you have beautiful assets.
What a wonderful wrap up. Jilly, what's the one thing I should be doing next, since we're not going to meet each other on this limited series anymore?
Are we pretending that I'm not going to be like elbowing my way back on?
Yes.
Let's go with that charade.
If we don't come back till January, though, like maybe there's a rewilding part 2, and then we really get into systems and operations, and we look at our redone website, and we take all the work that I've already done, and now it's plugged in, and you give us feedback on that. That would be wonderful. That would be fantastic. Can I Kathleen? Run through like a mental checklist of things that I would love you to do? Yes. So I would love you, and I'm going to make this quite generic so anyone listening can get this too. First of all, visibility. Decide on what your original content platform is. Make it a podcast, a video channel, or a blog. Lead generation. Have something of value that people can opt in via so that they are on your email list. Email them every week with sharing whatever your original content is for that week. So for Rebecca, it would be this show. Sales. How are you making it easy for people to buy from you? If it's a low ticket offer, send them to a sales page, share the sales page often, put it front and center on your website, make it easy. If it's a higher ticket offer, are you going to have a webinar masterclass and invite them to have a call with you afterwards? Whatever it is, spend time just being clear about those 3 buckets. What are the activities you're going to do? What's the strategy that you're going to set up under each of those headings? Visibility, lead generation, sales. That's what I want you to think about. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Homework set. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, let's come back together in the new year. Schedule something towards the end of January, maybe, and look at the progress, and maybe rewilding first. Every garden has a fall clean out and a spring replanting. So definitely. I think that would be perfect. I would love that. And we can share some progress. And we should be working together between now and then anyway. So, it would be really nice to see where we get to with this. Yeah, let's not forget you are my transformational business coach. You are the person who has drugged me kicking and screaming out of being a waitress in my own business, charging pennies for custom for made from scratch gourmet meals per tweet. 50 cents per tweet. Oh boy. Don't you hate your friends? They remember everything. Talk about having way too many things on the menu.
Yeah.
Per $3 a tweet. Yeah.
I love that.
Indeed. So I just want to say thank you for really you've taken 5 hours, more than that, because we always go over, but 5 to 10 hours of your life just being on this show and helping me put on my big girl brand panties, my big girl business and brand panties, so that we can thrive together. It's a little play on Julie's words of rise together and heads together.
Thank you so much for letting me do this, because I feel like you've let me kind of run the show, really, and it's just been such a pleasure. Really, really have enjoyed it. So thank you, and please let me back.
Indeed. So we look forward to seeing what I do with these teachable moments and life lessons, and rip up my resume and start again. So thank you, Gilly.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone who's joined us on this audience. And thanks to Tony for that amazing intro, by the way, which I never get tired of.
Yes, let's give a shout out for sure to Tony Pareco, Soundground Productions, for putting together that amazing intro. Gill Moakes from Gill Moakes Consulting, my transformative business coach and your future new best friend, which you can find at gillmoakes.com. That's GILLMOAKES.com. I love it. All right, Jilly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.